All right, you can start.
Throughout time, the horse has been passed down from generation to generation, serving as a companion, an agricultural tool, and as a sport. The changing of usage leads to the revision and evolution of training styles. The range of training techniques are hard to grasp because of all the diverse disciplines in the industry. We appreciate horses for what they embody: freedom, spirit, adventure, perseverance, and drive. Horses are willing to go the distance for anyone, and in short, all they want to do is please. However, all that spirit and love can be swept away by a bad temperament due to lack of training or none at all. The track: fast horses, lots of money, and high society. Right? More like drugs, deception, and death. In this sport, the only goal is to win. If winning does not happen, unlikely things are to happen. If a horse performs below standards, the horse is likely to die on the spot or be sent to a feedlot. According to Good Horsemanship, a website that takes opinions from many experts in the field, the average age of starting a horse is 3 to 4 years old because the horse is developed enough to carry a rider for long amounts of time. If started earlier, the horse may have long-lasting effects on its body and stress may develop. Nutrition is also a big factor on proper growth. It is better to have a more built horse rather than a malnutrition horse. Those who suffer from lack of nutrition, show bone through the skin, and are victims of all-around care. Because of the vast amount of disciplines, the line between abusive and non-abusive is clearly not drawn. The Western sport is the most commonly or basic discipline in the industry. It's mostly a first for a lot of people. For training, can go one of two ways: dominance, or I help you, you help me. The times and trains is so is the disciplines, though many trainers continue to use abusive methods which are a clash to the present ones. In a world without work, a stimulus source given to us by College Board, Thompson gives the idea that work fades into the new ideas over time, although the older methods are frowned upon by the new. An example from the equine industry is the American draft, which is the most commonly used agricultural tool before the invention of the combine. Only a few farmers still rely on the draft horse for work today, while others prefer tools given to us by technology. And another source given to us by College Board, the story of Sisyphus, tells us about that the real meaning of hard work relies on self-determination, never giving up. Pushing a boulder up a hill is much work for one man, though horses work around 30 plus hours a week, and humans, us as society, only work about 17 more on average. Many studies from academic journals show that excessive amounts of stress increase heart disease, stroke, possible preterm mid-delivery, type 2 diabetes, anxiety, depression, and higher risk of injury. As in horses, stress manifests in increased heart rate and emotional arousal. The side effects of humans and horses are very similar, and the lifelong effects are unsound and dangerous for all. The risk of death is very hyperbolic, and it increases over time. EAPs, equine assisted psychotherapy, are on a rapid increase over the past several years because more patients want a horse over a dog because of the gentle and overall kind nature. A horse of any size is proven to reduce stress and calm you down more than anything else in the world. You get in what you put out. Horses respond best with positive reinforcements and food. They learn when motivation levels are high, and when motivational levels are low, performance decreases and it's not a good experience. If using negatives, negatives will come out, and when using positives, positives will come out. When weather tries to interfere with training, trainers will do anything in their power to get the horse to performance ready. Though many facilities do not have indoor or sheltered areas when it rains, snows, sleets, or any sort of precipitation. And under those risks with the weather, trainers push past it because they just need that horse at sport level. After a full journey, like us, a horse can retire. The post-work society is described as holding a warped mirror of today's economy, but in many ways it also reflects on our forgotten norms of the past. Lessons of the past can be made to make the future better. Time, stress, and abuse are all things which eat us alive. Everyone has witnessed it firsthand. Nobody can outrun their problems. Stress, abuse are not something to fret with. Pleasing points turn to tipping points. Life turns to death, and love turns to hate. All can be avoided if stress is reduced and abuse is eliminated completely. Thank you.
What's up, round of applause? Thanks, Brady. All right, I have two questions for you. My first one is, how did you go about researching this topic and blending the use of horses with the stimulus material? How did you kind of navigate those two things?
So to start off my research, I looked over the stimulus sources a lot because I knew my topic didn't directly intertwine with them. So I noticed that a lot of the stimulus sources were about stress. And so I went about looking through sources, see how stress connects in horses. And would you repeat the question?
Yeah, and then so I think that mostly answered it. But what information did you use to tie the stimulus material and your presentation together? So which stimulus material sources did you end up finding to be the most valuable?
So I thought that the story of Sisyphus was the most valuable because, with also the world without work, but Sisyphus more because of all the hard work and strain that he put into his life, and horses put a lot of hard work and strain into their lives. So.
Great, thank you. Okay, so the second question I have for you is, so during your research, what additional questions emerged for you as a product of your research, and then why might those questions be important?
So a few of the questions that I got through my research was like the lines between the abuse and the non-abusive trainings, and like how people work with the horses. So that was a big question for me. And then would you repeat the second part of that? Or?
Yeah, why do you think those new your new discoveries or new questions are important?
I think that the new discoveries and the questions are important because it could further the research, and it could be much more eye-opening for people to think about this and connect their life and what they do compared to like the animals and like my case horses, so they can connect and say like, this horse is stressed, but I'm stressed. If maybe working together would bring down the stress levels.
Great, thank you very much.